Leadership development has been a top priority for the York County Regional Chamber over the years, with more than 800 Leadership York County graduates filling local leadership roles. This year, the board has made the decision to expand our leadership training opportunities, and today I have Barry Duncan of York County Natural Gas Authority and Brian Oerding of Carowinds to discuss our 2022 leadership development goals. Now guys, we started talking about this back at our planning session back in December, and you two guys were very vocal that this is important to you guys at your business. But Barry, let's start with you. When I met with you and Jimmy a few months back, management training was a topic we discussed. Tell us a little bit about how the Chamber plan might address the needs that you guys have at York County Natural Gas, but our other members have.
Dean, thank you for letting us participate. Ironically enough, this morning in a staff meeting, we discussed leadership training, and it was not prompted by me as a result of being involved in this program. But I think it was back in August.
Right.
And time has flown since then, right?
Sure.
But we began to talk about this opportunity, and it complements what we're doing at York County Natural Gas Authority. Brian and I were talking a little bit earlier that he's in the process of hiring, and his recruitment is much more aggressive than ours is, but it's still, we're looking for right leadership.
Sure.
And so I think this works, this weaves well into that. I read, I think this week, Dean, that between now and 2030, there will be 10,000 baby boomers who are going to reach retirement age every day. Wow. That is insane.
Every day.
Every day. And whether that's a little bit higher or a little bit low, it's still an astronomical number.
Right.
And
many of those are in leadership roles. So how do you fill that void?
They are. And those companies are going to be challenged with finding middle managers, upper managers to replace those people that are stepping aside.
Sure.
And so we want to support that. Come alongside those companies and provide programs that will help those leaders begin to grow. At the end of the day, if new leaders come on board within those companies and they grasp that company culture and they begin to obtain leadership training opportunities, at the end of the day, they make a more rapid impact for the company and for the community. So that's what we're after. Right.
And Brian, you're experiencing the same thing at Carowinds, it sounds like. One of the programs the Chamber currently has is LICO. And that's every year, 35, 40 participants. And it's kind of a community awareness program. Either one of you talk a little bit about, this sort of management program you're talking about, how will that differ from the leadership program that we currently have?
Well, that's a great question. And I was a graduate of Leadership York County more years than I care to remember.
Not going to tell us when?
I'm not going to tell you when. But that program, I think, is more to create community-centric leaders. Mm-hmm. I think this program is more focused on professional leadership training, very specific, focal points, and not to replace Leadership York County, but to complement that, I think.
Great, that's fantastic. Well, Brian, another focus area in there is with our young professionals. We've had a young professional program here at the Chamber for a number of years, and I know the board was wanting to look at how can we make that more robust or more applicable to what the needs are of those young professionals. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think the Chamber has a really active young professionals group. Pre-pandemic, they were meeting once a month. They've started getting those meetings back going. I think the important piece here is that we want to try to continue to evolve and evaluate that program to ensure that we're providing those young professionals with the best training, tools that they can have, and that they're really getting an impactful piece from it. Barry was talking about, again, at Carowinds, right? We've got probably 300 young professionals in entry-level management positions, entry-level supervisor positions that could really benefit from this. So as the Chamber continues to look at it and decide what those next levels are, we want to communicate with some of those active young professionals and really say, hey, what would you like to get out of this?
Well, that was, I was about to ask that. I mean, how will you determine what this program looks like? I mean, is it just a simple matter of going to those young professionals, asking them, trying to identify also some of the companies? Or
yeah, I think it's got to be a combination of both, right? Let's talk to current young professionals. Let's talk to maybe those who were in the young professional program in the past, what was good, what was bad, right?
I think he looked at you, Barry. I think he looked at you.
Yeah, I know. That's all right.
And then again, it's what are the members right now or the businesses right now need? You know, if we were communicating with everybody, that's the most important piece, right? Let's really collect all of those answers and dive into that and see if we can put on the best program.
Great, fantastic. So Barry, one of the items that I noticed on one of the bullet points that you guys have developed centers around supporting mentorship programs. You know, we've got a number of groups, you know, that have some sort of mentorship program. I mean, you know, I even think about the Gravity Center, the Bell Group,
Yeah, sure.
that are mentoring entrepreneurs to kind of start up their business. You know, in your research, how will we work with those groups, or what will be our goal kind of centered around some of those programs?
Well, I don't know that we have all the answers to that question, but I think the easy answer is we acknowledge there are companies, there are organizations in the area that have existing mentoring programs. They have existing staff leadership development programs. We want to come alongside those organizations, complement that,
Right.
help them evaluate those programs, what works, what doesn't. If we need to help market those programs more widely around the community so that, like you said, Brian, other people, young professionals can take advantage of those programs. So I think, again, it's more to complement, not to replace what they're doing, not to dig a new ditch,
Right.
so to speak.
Sure.
But just to help them continue to promote that, grow those programs, and again, make it more impactful to the community, especially reaching new leaders.
What other programs or activities will your team be looking to evaluate and work on?
You know, I think we're looking at a wide a range of programs. I think there could be programs that we put out there that might be 1 day, 2 day certification plans, and then there might be others that are a little bit longer. Maybe you sign up for a class or a course that's 1 day a week over the next 3 to 6 weeks, right? Just depending on what the information might be and what the needs are out there. Specifically, I think it's important to the Chamber that we help put together some type of candidate training to provide information to those folks who might be interested in running for a local office.
Okay.
How do you go about if you're interested in running for a school board or a city council or even a county council seat? And if we could provide some of that information to young professionals out there, perhaps they might get more involved and they might understand the process a little bit better.
Well, that's great, and that segues well into one of our other goals that's under advocacy, to provide that information, help those folks have the tools so that they can be successful running for office, and then they know that the Chamber's a kind of a trusted resource value, and so then when they're looking at issues, hopefully they'll then turn to the Chamber. So I like that a whole lot. Barry, talk a minute about, so you're just kind of launching this effort, and I hear you've said evaluate and kind of assess where we're going. What might be the timing members might see some of these programs rolled out?
Well, I mean, like you said earlier, we started conversations back, middle to late part of 2021.
Sure.
That rolled over into some very specific conversations in our planning retreat, 6 or 8 weeks ago. I think from there, we're going to evaluate existing programs that are out there, because there's a lot of them and
Sure.
a lot of effective programs. Look at some new modeling. Let's see if there's something there that the community is not using that we might can add to what's already there. We'll do that probably through the remainder of 2022.
Okay.
And the end of the year will be here before we know it. That's going to go quickly. I think we've learned that over the last few years that time moves ahead rapidly. Early 2023, I think we'll see some of those programs launch, so that those companies in the area can begin taking advantage of those leadership training opportunities.
Well, that'll be great. And Brian, I know you talked about LICO earlier, so no real changes looking for that. We're just looking to kind of make this more robust. I know the staff person that you guys will be working with quite a bit will be Colleen. She's managed our leadership program for a number of years. I know that kind of behind the scenes, she's already been evaluating a few different 2 and 3 day seminar training programs that she's going to share with you guys and dig into. So we're excited about looking at that. Anything else you guys want to add?
I think the most important thing that we're looking for really is just to ensure that we're providing that top-notch quality program, right? And that's why the evaluation piece, why we want to look at everything and collaborate with as many folks as we can to ensure that you're really getting the most out of everything we can provide for you.
And I'll echo that. I mean, we don't want to just check a box.
Sure.
This is purposeful. I mean, we want to create value not only for the Chamber to its members and to the community, but a premier product that we can offer with regard to leadership development.
Well, that's great, guys. I appreciate your willingness to work on this. I know you're both passionate about it. This is an effort that the Chamber feels very passionate about, leadership development. We're looking at programs that are in the K through 12, aligning those with some of the activities we have for our businesses. But Barry, you hit the nail on the head when you started. We have a pandemic of people leaving the workforce, and we're challenged. You guys are challenged with replacing those with younger folks that are moving into management positions. In some cases, a little bit sooner than they've had the time to really gain valuable experience for. So you're looking to kind of help bridge that gap for them, and I think that's going to be very impactful for our employers, our members, and most of all, this will be available to members and non-members. So you don't have to be a member to take advantage of it. There'll be ways for non-members. So thank y'all very much, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this progresses over the year.
Thank you. Look forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.